In this lecture, we are going to study about single phase bridge inverters. Now, single phase bridge inverters are of two types: single phase half bridge inverter, single phase full bridge inverter. So let us see first the construction and working of single phase half bridge inverter. So this is how your single phase half bridge inverter circuit looks like. It is having two DC supply sources, two thyristors T1 T2, and there are two diodes connected in anti-parallel with the thyristors T1 and T2. Now this type of DC supply, where there are two parts of the DC supply, this is called as a three-wire DC supply. So here is the load. So here we have Vs by 2, and here is the other part, Vs by 2. So this is a three-wire, this is called as a three-wire DC supply. Okay. Now in this single phase half bridge inverter, first thyristor T1 will be turned on, and when it turns off, thyristor T2 will be turned on. So first let us see how thyristor T1 turns on and how is the output voltage and output current. So this is the gate trigger pulse Ig1 with respect to time t. Okay, and these are the markings for our time intervals. So the first trigger pulse Ig1 is given at the gate terminal of thyristor T1, and thyristor T1 is turned on. During this time, thyristor T2 is off. So when thyristor T1 is turned on, current will flow in this direction. This is source current Is. It will then complete its path through T1, through load, and it will complete its path. So this is the load current. In green arrows you can see the current is flowing in this loop. So this is our load current I0, which will have a voltage drop across load, which is V0. So V0 will have potential as positive, negative. So this will give you first half cycle of your alternating voltage. So let's see how that looks like. So this is the output waveform for output voltage V0 with respect to time t. And when this gate trigger pulse is given to thyristor T1, we have voltage Vs by 2 appearing across V0. So V0 will be Vs by 2 plus Vs by 2. Okay. This is happening during time period 0 to t by 2. So thyristor T1 is turned on by giving a gate trigger pulse Ig1 at its gate terminal for time period 0 to t by 2. After that, this gate trigger pulse is removed and the thyristor turns off. After this, thyristor T2 is turned on. Let's see how the gate trigger pulse of T2 looks like. This is for Ig2 with respect to time. So during this time period it is 0, and during this time period there is a gate trigger pulse given at thyristor T2. So thyristor T2 is turned on for the time period t by 2 till t. So this is the time period for which thyristor T1 is turned on by giving a gate trigger pulse at its gate terminal. So this will have a voltage V0 as minus V by 2. This voltage is minus V by 2. Now here, see, from here the current will start flowing. Now the current is flowing in opposite direction as compared to earlier current. So here the voltage drop across this output load, the output voltage will be now having opposite polarity, which is minus Vs by 2. That is why your V0 is having minus Vs by 2 magnitude. Okay, and then the current will complete its path like this. After that, after this time period, during t to 3t by 2, again thyristor T1 is turned on by giving a gate trigger pulse at its gate terminal, and output voltage will be V0 is equal to plus V by 2, which is shown here. Then when the gate trigger pulse is 0, the thyristor T1 will turn off. Again thyristor T2 is turned on by giving a gate trigger pulse at its gate terminals, and now the output voltage will be minus Vs by 2. Okay. So this cycle keeps on repeating. So you get here output voltage which is alternating in nature. This is plus V by 2 magnitude. This is minus V by 2 magnitude. This is the time period from 0 to t by 2. So it is taken as t by 2. For the full cycle, the time period is T. So here, from here 0 to T, this is your time period, total time period T. By varying this time period, we can also vary the frequency of this output voltage waveform. For this time period 0 to T by 2, thyristor T1 is turned on. For this time period T by 2 to T, we have thyristor T2 turned on. Again here T1 is turned on. Again here T2 is turned on. Okay. Now let us see what is happening in single phase full bridge inverter. So this is the circuit of single phase full bridge inverter. The same thing is happening. The only difference is in the previous circuit in half bridge inverter we need 3-wire DC supply, which was the drawback there, and here it needs a single DC supply source. So first, and here another difference is there are 4 thyristors and there are 4 diodes connected in anti-parallel with the thyristors. Okay, we will see what is the use of these diodes later on. First, let us understand how the circuit works. We have first this trigger pulse given for thyristors T1 and T2. So this thyristor T1 and thyristor T2 will be turned on. This is the current flowing like this from T1 through load T2 and it completes its path. Okay, so during this time period the output voltage is plus Vs, that is positive voltage is coming here. So output voltage V0 is having polarity positive negative. This is the direction of load current. So you have V0 is equal to plus Vs, which is shown here. Next, during next gate triggering pulse Ig2, this is given to the gate terminal of T3 and T4. So T3 and T4 are turned on now during this time period between T by 2 to T. So here now see here this load, this supply current, this source current will come here. It cannot go here in T1. It will go here, here. It will go here, okay, here. It will go into T3. Then it will go into load. And then it will go into T4 and complete its path. So now the load current is flowing in opposite direction as compared to the earlier current, and now the output voltage will be having opposite polarity with positive here, negative here. So you get here your second half cycle having magnitude minus Vs because now the output voltage polarity is changed. So this is how you get one full cycle of your alternating output voltage. Again in this time period from T to 3T by 2, T1 and T2 will be gated, and then again T3 and T4 will be gated, and this cycle will keep on. So this time period is T by 2, whereas the full cycle time period is T. Now so this is the single phase full bridge inverter. This is very easy. Both these circuits are very easy to understand. Now let us understand why these diodes D1, D2, D3, D4 are connected in this circuit, and in the earlier case we had D1 and D2 connected here. These are called as feedback diodes. Why these are used? See, this load connected will never be purely resistive. It will have inductive part and capacitive part. Okay, and current flowing through capacitive load or inductive load always lags the output voltage. The load current is not in phase with the output voltage. If it is inductive load, the current will lag. If it is capacitive load, the current will lead the output voltage. Okay. So because of that, these diodes are connected. What is the function of these diodes? Let us consider, I will explain one example here. Let us consider this current is flowing when T1 is turned on and it is completing its path like this. Okay, these green arrows. Now when gate triggering pulse is removed from the gate terminal of T1, T1 is turned off and this current is still flowing here. Okay, current was lagging the output voltage, so current is still flowing. So that current will now take this path through the diode, and then through the diode it will complete its path, and here the energy is fed back to the source. If you see the direction of current, energy is fed back to the source now. So that is why these diodes are also called as feedback diodes. Why these diodes are used? These diodes are used to allow the current to flow when thyristors are turned off. Same will be in the case of these diodes. These diodes are also doing the same function. They are allowing the current to flow when the thyristor, the respective thyristor in anti-parallel with diode is turned off. Okay, so this is the concept of bridge inverters. Thank you.